Ant Adam, sir, to you. Tenest sitas, Heil. Here we are again. I am Bubba brought up under a camel, active dynasties long out of print. The first of Shettrick, Shilkan Beard, or as it is, Owlof, Macausculf the Thord. But in Pontifacts Maximus, I am known throughout the world wherever my good Alan Glish Angle Lashen is spoken by Sal and Will, from Augustinus to Ergastulus, as this is. Whether in Farnham's Rath, or Condra's Ridge, or the meadows of Dalkin or Monkish Tunship, by saints and sinners I alike, as a clean living man, and as a matter of fact, by my half-wife, I think how our public at large appreciates it most highly from me, that I am as clean living as could be, and that my game was a fair average, since I perpetually kept my wheezy wicket up. On my very wife I never was, nor can afford to be guilty of crim crig con, of malfeasance, trespass against parson with the person of a youthful girl friend, chirped Apples, acted by Miss Dash. And with any of my cousins in Kisselof's Slutsgarten, or Giglot's Kill, when I would touch her to her dot, and feel most greenly of her unripe ones, as it should prove most anise, and far too hard, neaseless to say, to my reputation on Babil Malket for daughters in trade being lightly clad. Yet as my acquaintance do me the complaisance of apprising me, I should her have arrested under my disguise of whippers through tombs and deepies, largwen was she but tinkling of such a tink. And as a mere matter of fact, I tell of myself how I possess the ripest litlums wickfooky around the globes, upon which she was romping off on floss Mundi out of Harlem's way round Skinner's Circus Alley, first with a constellation prize. In my serial dreams of fair women, mannequins pass with awards in figure and smile, subsections handicapped by two breasts in opera tops, a remarkable little endowment garment fastened at various places. What spirit I keenly love such, particularly while savouring of their flavours at their most perfect best when served with heliotrope eye lips, as this is, where I do drench my jolly soul on the pure beauty of her past. She is my best preserved whole wife, soul her as hereafter, in Evan's eye with incompatibility, the smallest shoe number outside Chinnerton's. They are jolly dainty, spick and thully. May we not recommend them? It was my proof piece from my prentice serving, and alas, our private chaplain of Lambeth, and Dolkey Bishop Legionary, and always sad-faced man in his lute-string, pewscape with tabarded band, who has visited our various hard hearts and reins by imposition of fingers, also haddocks from in that upper room, can speak loud to you some quite complimentary things about my clean countering, even when detected in the dark. Distressful though such recital proved to be, as this is, when I introduced her Frankfurter's Numberines, why drive fear to our foe poster, Tunies chantraying under Castrucci Signor and de Melos. Those whopping old stairs with sycamore euphonium in either notation, in our altogether cage-housed Duckyheim on Gooseneck Green, that Capitini, home sweetened through affections, hoard pains first muckis, so they Senki Dodo, oh clearly, and Gregorio at front with Johannes far in back, or gleam, gloom. There's gnomes sweep places, like they sweep no works. By home is my kirk find laters, the little church run ye corner, and KK Katakash, and join us in the belief, and as you all know, of a child. Dear humans, one of my life's ambitions of my young end, from an early PP period, while still to hedge a school intended for Broad Church, I, being fully alive to it, was parochially confirmed in Colofat's bed by our budgie, beloved curator, Michael Engels. As your man, let Michael relay Sutton and tell you people here who have a phony habit, it was remarkable. In his clairaudience, as this is, as only our own Michael can, when reach out at superstation to bring ruptures to our roars, how I am amplify. Heim Landcolin, Pims, ornery 4.5. Sean Simpson, say when. Homestucks unstidden. Liv Pumark, Ilyarge Hogs, 1-4 tups, knowing big butter boast. Sorry, think you. That'll be all for today. Call it off. God notch, fry boily. End a muddy Christmas. Appreciates a New York customs. Crow tack, tick tack, tick tack. A wind, a buzz, a water falling. Poor a cow his due placator. It's the damp. Calm has entered, big calm announcer. It is most ernst teruli amorsum intartumen, Cole's tooth. I will give Tansel to it. I protest there was literally not 1 teaspoonful of evidence at bottom lie to my barbad, as you shall see, as this is Keeman Lapsang of first pickings, and I contango can take off my dudud 39 articles of quoting here in Pinnock's Park, before those in heaven to provost myself by gramercy of justness. I mean very man of Mormon. Stiff and staunch forever, and enter under the advices of Mrs. Norris Southby, Yates and Weston Inc., to their favoured client, into my pre-Protestant caveat against the publications of libel by any Tim Saloon or Tom Torley of Gessert's Lane, a blow-eyed, land-joint, warring low-belt suit, with knock-brecky knees, and bull-fist rings around him, and a false rude axe-hand. He is confessor to Saunters, no letters of the Poe's Toffees directory, in his pisness, the best begrudged man in Belgradia who doth not believe to our Pavia. To my non-such that highest personage at moments holding down the throne, so to speak of, beauty scouts in elegant pursuit of flowers, searchers for tabernacles and the celluloid art, happened seen or saw Ines belived, the Kakakad. He walked by North Strand with his tomes towel in hand, snake-eye strangler of Sophia catered, green parrots. I protest that it is that he is by my wipe half. He was leaving out of my double inns while I was all a-teppling over my single exits. So was Kishaned on for his recent behaviour. Sure Luke is looking for him. Allah belt spanners. Get your hair cut. Shame on private shames on his fulsomeness. Shamus on his Atkins scums lull lying sullen. For an outcast mastiff littered in blood curvish, aristocras, till hanging tower stick a javelin through his advoutried heart. Instaunt and flap my lowy bird, dangle my high flyer, jiggity jig my jack and dandelion. Let me never see his wad fez again, and mine it was, but hold thou vow, Hunnerig. So soon of furries our spring like is juicer, initiate my cray, as yours now, so yours then. When to our lot it fell on my popular sex, my sex and tornery, wed by gate of Hall before his hostel of the wooded man, I hastened to freehold it up to his mammon, majuscules, his magnus majestic. First city's least grace of his Nova Tower, how most noble when roast booked on his priceless charger, Ferdinand Alibuster. Ye do not need light, or till nowhere for you find one or every doorway, with my album's green themes, through this whole of my promise, handshaky, concrandy you like them's, ecclescency. Who saw the Jackery dares at hand grip of this abreast, does make us ginger. Someone we was with us all fours adversarian, the spiking Durval, first liar in Lond's End, wolf see you scargo on that skeep's brow, and those mazes sulken tarts, man sicker at a ear bluffet conservative. Shucks, such rathouse bugs mess. So I can barely conceive of lowest baseman in history, Ibsenist nonsense, noxact perpulia and power, the broker-hearted sugarun. Whole affair is rotten mucks with schweines, pork you pig's draft, enouk. Is that you, Whitehead? Have you head noise now? Give us your mispilt reception, will yows? Pass the fish, for Christ's sake. Old White House he is speaking again. Ope Eustace Tube. Pity poor White Oath, dear gone mummeries Goby. Tell the wild I have lived through 1,000 hells. Pity please, lady, for poor O.W. in this profundus snobbing I have caught. 9 dirty years mine age. Hares, whores, mummery failing, snow drift to my elbow, deaf as adder. I asked you, dear lady, to judge on my tree by our fruits. I give you of the tree, I give 2 smells, 3 eats. My free Andes, my cellar mates, my happy bosoms, my all falling fruits of my boom. Pity poor haveth childers everywhere with mudder. That was Communicator, a former colonel, a disincarnated spirit called Sebastian, from the Rivera in January. He is not all here. May Fern speak shortly with messages from my dead ported. Let us cheer him up a little and make an appointment for a future date. Hello, communicate. How's the butts ever skepticistic? He does not believe in our cycles of the real absence, neither miracle wheat nor soul surgery of P.P. Quemby. He has had some indigestings, poor thing. For quite a little while, confused by his tongue of bauble, away with him, poor Felix Culapert, ring his mind, ye staples, bonza, in my old rectories, Ballyhurt, and in my Crumlin, and in my arrondissements and stremis. Saxa Leathori, bam, I deplore him rurely, mon grief o'hern, gesterned with his nobilities to die bronzitic in Atcha so enjoying of old thick wiles in hot white tufts, height of our formed reflections with stock of eyes and all his prop, so bucally hoisted from the royal leg and his puretas mugnum, he would puff out a dimful buck. And the how he would husband her, that very carefully, her cigar divine, he would redden her with his vestas, but 'tis naught. With us his nephews and his nebils, messed incensed and befogged by him, and his smoke thereof, but he shall have his glad stein of our sober beer best, in Oshershall's wine tavern. Buen retiro, the boy's voice is still flautish, and his month still wears the soldier's scarlet through the flax of floyards are peppered with salzadine. It is because of what he has ascended into his prison once on account of. I wit it well. Hence his depraised words. Some day I may tell of his second story. Mood. It looks like someone other bearing my burdens. I cannot let it. Cain's naught. Well, yeoman, I have bared my whole past. I flatter myself on both sides. Give me even 2 months by Laxlaw in 2nd Division, and my first broadcloth's business will be to protect, to record as a thing of all things, or court of Skivenies, with Marchants Grey, ancient and credible, Zero Bubble, Baron Tone, Jonah Warley, determined code of cucumber upright, my Jurats, it does not occur again, O Rimus. Ha, wild heart and homeland. Howards be the known, mine kinder come, mine woe be done. There is nothing like Luther, O she, and nosty men's in glad's houses, they shad not pegged stones. The elephant's house is his castle. I am here to tell you indeed to goodness, that all be I discountenanced, be all persuasions in renunciation of pumps and heretofore, with a wax too held in hand. I am full to do dope of me in their misty prinks, and by virtue of those filtered overcanars presently like brown, embracing Christina Anya, after the Irishes to convert me into a Celt. But first I must proxy baptize my old antinaughties, when as Sigismund Stolterforth, with Rabbi Robus for my officer and Litchi Rut for my life arse and Lorenz pattern, Erin till victory. When I will westernize those poor son-uppers and outbrighten their land's eng, a man should stump up and I will pay my pretty decent trade price for my glucus peebles were it even, as this is the legal Eric for infelicitous conduct. Here in closed place find my pocket and chawed cheek. And as a matter of fact, I undertake to discontinue entirely all practices and deny whole swiping in toto at my own request, in all storiedness, to have confirmated and confoderated and agreed in times prebilic, when here were waders for the trainsfolk, as it is now urgently laid to me with a friend of mine, Mr. Billups Pulleter, my quarter brother, and sometimes he is doing my locum for me on a grub stake, and whom I have kept constitument. For so it was felt by me, and goodbye, coops. Bios Capitua, a mouthless negress, Blanchard Brewster from Cherna Jamaja. Blaulau and via Brigstow, or to ill sell my fourth part in her, which although allowed of in Deuteronomy, as in several places of scripture copyright and excluded books, they should quite rightly forbanned be, which seem eggs excessively harrowing to my feel limbs, for 2 pud Scotch, 1 pollard and a crockett, or 2, 3 pipples on the bitch, thou fricks flame ouden sulphur, who strikest only on the married box, head quick me, if so be I did, coffer twice maladies made, inspect of her beavers, she is a womanly and sacred, such were a frilic for my comic strip. Mons Meg's monthly comes out at Finnegans Wake, to bray it by clown sillies in Donkeybrook Fair. It would lacken macken hodders and cockers arithmetic, the unpardonable preemption of all her yarn by Juna Monitor. If she Irish Marion to Heresian has been disposed of for her consideration, I, Ledwid's Salvatorius, am dreadfully uninterested. And if she is still further talc slopping over her cocoa contours, I what Mick Angers am strongly of opinion why I should not be. Improbable, I do not credit one word of it from such and such as Miss Travis's, just feathers, than entities ought to have octroyed to Risoldo Borough by exchange, same super milk cart means help, best Brixton High yellow, no outings, cent for cent on auctions bridge. 'Twere a honeybell crudelity, were it so tentament to their knacked lives and scatterborgias we devour about in the mighty evil rooms of ancient Carthage, utterly improperly, not for old Crusoes or white soul of gold, a pipple on the pansies, rather, 2 calaps on the cancel, or 3 pox Cassie knocked on the postern, not for 1 testy ticky, culprix coins, or for all ecus in Cuncy House. So help me cash, I mean it.